So, as if you guys don't understand what is going on between Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar with Israel, here's the very beginning. As a result of them not only being a part of the whole boycott Israel movement, as well as um, issuing anti-Israel rhetoric, and some of them crossing the line to become anti-Semitic, Israel has opted to put a ban on these two women from coming into the country. Now, there was actually a recent development about Rashida Tlaib asking that their ban on her visiting Israel be removed. Now, the reason why she said this was because of her grandmother. She wanted to see her again, which would probably be for the last time, because in her own words, she is within her 90s. Now, I don't know where her grandmother is. Probably somewhere in the Palestinian territories. I have no idea. That's their business, so I'm not gonna get into that. But um, nonetheless, she wanted to see her again, and which would probably be the last time this would probably happen. And Israel, believe it or not, they actually were fine with the request and decided to lift the ban on her entry. But what Rashida Tlaib, what she says later, completely baffles me. It completely does, because what she did was that she decided in one of her tweets. I'm quoting here. Silencing me and treating me like a criminal is not what she wants for me. It would kill a piece of me. I have decided that visiting my grandmother under these oppressive conditions stands against everything I believe in, fighting against racism, oppression, and injustice. Honestly, because of what's going through Rashid Tlaib's head, I feel very sorry for her grandmother, because she may not be able to see her again. I feel very sorry, and Rashida Tlaib just intentionally blew up her chance to see her grandmother again, all because for the sake of her politics. It's just it baffles me, especially what she's saying. Because what she said with the whole oppression and injustice and racism, this was a direct attack on Israel, because a lot of people, especially within the boycott Israel movement or just pro-Palestinian movement, have been very vocal against Israel. Some have even went on to say that they will not support the idea of a Jewish state, and have said many things as a result, such as claiming that the Palestinian territories are under occupation, and just Israel is just doing so many of these things against the Palestinians, which, considering how much of a history buff I am, especially when I made that video last night about university reviews, it definitely it insults me, considering that of the history that around the Jews as well as the Palestinians. But nonetheless, that gets way out of the away from the point, because she willingly gave up her idea of visiting her grandmother because of her politics, because of promoting politics. All this seems is that despite after just requesting that the ban be removed for just for I'm not sure if it was going to, she said, for a limited time, but I don't think so. She just said she requested the ban to be removed. Although she had that opportunity to go see her mother, but again, all she did was just make it a whole political fiasco, which a lot of people have been thinking that this was all it is. That it's just a political statement against Israel, because of what they believe in terms of this whole occupation of the Palestinian territories, and so much more. And this is in line with what happened prior. In fact, there have been so about some things of what they said prior about 2 days ago when they were actually given the ban by Israel was that um in one case with Ilhan Omar, she accused Benjamin Netanyahu of imposing a Muslim ban simply because they were banning Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. How crazy is that? I mean, not only is that idea, not as only is what Omar said disingenuous, especially when there are Palestinians living in Israel. I mean, literally within the borders of Israel. I'm not that separate them from the Palestinian territories. But the fact that they are just so, again, not only is this a political statement that they're making, but it's just definitely an egocentric one because well, they're congresswomen after all, and especially that they want to get in on this idea of Israel promoting something similar of a Muslim ban, which again is not true. All of this is just a political statement. That's all it is. And bleh. I'm not surprised, to be honest, especially with a lot of things that the squad has been saying. I mean, forget AOC, especially for right now, because while she did say her own stupid things, especially when referring to what's been going on as the occupation of the Palestine, but what Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib have been going on is that they've been spewing a lot of rhetoric, a lot of anti-Israel, anti-Semitic rhetoric, especially with when it comes to Israel, how they claim that that Israel is an apartheid state. I mean, it's just so bad. And honestly, I don't know what else to say about this. All this is just a political statement. And I've said that before so many times. But that's all it is. It's just a statement against Israel. And it's definitely not it's not giving them any supporters as a result. They will still keep their own supporters, especially within their own districts. But it's not really giving them anything, especially when they have been seem more like activists. I mean, after all, this stunt just proves that all they're doing is just mainly trying to be activists for the sake of being activists. So, yeah, who loses? I think, honestly, Rashida Tlaib loses. Ilhan Omar loses. Not Ilhan. Tlaib's grandmother loses. The reason why is because, well, they won't see each other. Because after all, from what Rashida Tlaib said, she's in her 90s. That's very old. And it just is. And considering that both Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar have been making this kind of statements, it's just building up their own image of just being anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, and in some cases, anti-American, because in some cases, and especially with that previous tweet by Rashida Tlaib, I think that was an indirect attack against Donald Trump because of the whole idea by the Democrats claiming that he's racist, sexist, homophobic, that sort of thing. But all this does is just the possibility that they're losing centrist supporters. After all, they're not doing too good in their own districts. They have a very low approval ratings, and and although they make this statement against Israel, it's not really going to do anything. It really isn't. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to. It's not going to make Israel change its own policy aside from what they what Rashida Tlaib requested for seeing her grandmother. But that nothing's going to change. All they're doing is just being activists for the sake of being activists. And all that's doing is just it's turning people off. Especially from center-left Democrats and independents. That's all it's doing. It's just building up their own image of far-left, anti-Israel, anti-Semitic rhetoric. That's all it's doing. And eventually it's going to bite them in the ass, in my honest opinion. That's why I say Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and her grandmother lose as a result. That's what I think. And honestly, it is really sad that Rashida Tlaib's grandmother may not see her own granddaughter. I understand that people don't like Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar, but since they are human, I think there's still that connection with them having a bonded relationship with their own family. And I think it's so sad and wrong that they are willing to push ahead politics instead of being there for their family. And I think that is very sad and very, very I would say this. I don't think disrespectful is the best word. I think selfish would be the best word. It is considerably selfish. I honestly hope that Rashida Tlaib sees that mistake. Again, I do not like her or anything, especially with what she says and as well as her policies. But we still have to see that she's human, and the fact that she's willing to go this far to promote her politics is sad. Is sad to me. My name is Noah and Audio Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you guys have any criticisms or comments about how I make my videos, please be sure to put them down in the description below or directly message me. Thank you.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains.